Are esports sports? This is a question that has been asked during the recent rise of competitive gaming, as pro gamers seek validation for their carpal tunnel craft, and sportsers seek to gatekeep their exclusive club of cornholers and speedwalkers. The allowance of what is and isn't a sport has drastically changed over the past few years, as seemingly anything that involves skill can be considered a sport. Chess is a sport, bowling is a sport, standing in an open field is a sport, and even volleyball is a sport. Where does it end? And where do we draw the line? And are esports sports? And does this look infected to you? I'm really worried about it. What is a sport? Well, the Webster definition for a sport is, gotta grab my laptop, an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. So that immediately discounts volleyball, but it doesn't discount esports, as millions gather on both stream and in person to watch esports events. People dedicate themselves to teams and even rep jerseys, which just seems so ridiculous to me. Esports are definitely gaining in popularity. Sponsors are throwing themselves at it left and right because of the skyrocketing potential. In the last year, esports had more viewership than the NBA, NHL, and MLB. This means that both of Michael Jordan's sports are less popular than a sport with the star of the name of Booger. It is even chasing those organizations' profit margins, even without the infrastructure that they boast. Esports are definitely a prime form of entertainment. But all this said, you may ask, what about the physical exertion part of that definition? Do esports require the same physicality that regular sports do? Well, yes. Kind of. Esports are sedentary and on the surface seem easy. They definitely don't compare physically to sports like football, soccer, and basketball, but they are still incredibly demanding. They require complex, precise movements that draw on tight hand-eye skills and require control from the player in intense situations when their hearts can soar to as high as 180 beats per minute. The constant high-intensity play creates a mental endurance battle. The longer you can stay locked in making good decisions, the better you will play. Meaning that my ADHD and I can never play esports. It's a sad day. But I probably couldn't anyways because I don't have hands. They might not require speed or athleticism or incredible strength, but neither do a lot of sports. If we aren't cutting off bowling, archery, badminton, or volleyball, which are fundamentally less athletic than esports, especially volleyball, then there is no real argument to be made to the contrary. So, are esports sports? No. I don't think so. I don't think that they or any of the other sports that I just mentioned, especially volleyball, contain the defining physical characteristics of a sport. The athletes who compete in these competitions lack the physical skills to separate themselves from the general public. Their talents are spectacular and unique and awesome, but it's all purely mechanical. Having good wrist movement and a high heart rate is possible for anyone, and is especially popular in America. The high heart rate part, because of processed foods. Obviously, a ton of training is involved, but it's not physical training, it's mechanical. The mental fortitude is unique to these players and is impossible to attain for some, but plenty of jobs require high mental capacity, and we don't call those sports. I think that esports are incredible displays of skill and training, but at the end of the day, I just can't see them in the same light as real sports. Esports are esports, which is great because they are unique and fascinating, and I am so excited to watch them grow and flourish in the future.